Well, hello there, everybody. Happy is Trina Tuesday Mars Day, or is that the day for Mars?
No,
I
I
don't.
think it is Mars Day. You're correct. Yeah.
Okay, I saw someone say that in the comment section. Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? We were just sitting there, just talking amongst ourselves, and just realized that hey, we actually have people waiting, and it would be rude for us as I get through all of the, you have to do the prep work of the. Before the bus goes out. It's like an airplane, check, check, check. So anyway, welcome. If you're here, as I always like to say on Tuesday, you have fulfilled your destiny for the moment. So congrats on that. Trina and I, and when the proxy with Jenny, she's not going to be with us today. I'll get into that in a little bit. But we speak favor. And Trina, as I was telling you, by the way, nothing missing, nothing broken.
Yes.
But thank you, Francis, Lucky Stone. Um, Miss those meditative walked videos you used to do, Francis. Those were really good. I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
Got to know those woods pretty well.
Mhm.
Um, but Lucky sent me an email and pointed out that 6 years ago today, Trina and I had just really just started these our Tuesdays get-togethers, but that's when I introduced to, I don't know, Trina, the world, not to say this this reality, favor.
Yeah.
And
The
so,
construct.
yeah,
You
yeah,
put it in the construct. Yeah.
I like that. So
Hmm.
we're going to be talking about favor
Hmm.
because it works in my
Yes.
life, and I have no doubt that I have planted the seeds for the preparation of, you know, my departure and my arrival into those at the beach. That's where I'll be initially. Who knows after that? Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But um, how are you doing, Trina?
I'm doing fabulous. And it's
Six
always
years
so,
ago.
yeah, I was going to say so
Yeah,
good. Time has flown and we have learned so much. And what a
wow, has it?
journey.
What? I
What a
mean,
journey.
who'd have ever thought? And then you have a 10-year anniversary on your channel coming up in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats on that. 10
Thank you.
years, a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
depending what your age is, it accounts for a lot. I
It's
mean,
quite a bit. Yeah, it
yeah,
really is. But
yeah.
it's when you love what you're doing, especially this community. I mean, I've known some of you for 12, 13 years now. It's so wonderful.
It's amazing, this group.
Yeah.
It really is. I
Yeah.
mean, um, and particularly because social media in what I call out in the world, um, it's it's cold. It's soulless in a lot of ways because people don't stick in one way. They seem to gravitate to different.
Yeah.
This case for this group here, particularly. I
Yeah.
mean, 11
Yeah. And I
years
think
on.
I think we're becoming a novelty because, we're
I love
just
that.
raw and real, unscripted. It's just two people having conversations, throwing out ideas, not claiming anybody knows anything about anything, but just to ponder the thought, to think together, to challenge each other. What a gift. What an absolute gift. So thank you guys from the bottom of my
Oh,
heart. You are a
absolutely.
source of my favor. So thank you.
Well, as I look at everyone
Hmm.
in the chat room, we love you. Chloe, how are
Yeah.
you, sweetie? Need to get some more crystals. There's Deborah. A lot of y'all have been here for a
Yeah.
long time. So many of
Deborah.
you. Lost in
Mm.
space. Thank you, brother. Um, Deborah and I see Colleen. There's just Loretta. See Loretta. What? There's Nina. Good to see you, Nina.
Yeah.
Jackie, and I'm just going back. Skyheart had time to get my yoga in. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. Chloe's
Yeah.
driving to work. So, is it hot
Oh,
in Texas?
Oh, I bet
Is
it
it hot in
is.
Arizona?
Oh, it's been, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a little ridiculous, but yeah.
I mean, when
Mhm.
we say ridiculous, how ridiculous is it? Hi,
From
Sheffield.
about 107 to 116 in
Oh,
that range.
no, no,
So,
no,
yeah,
no.
a
Gilbert, love
little
you, brother.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gilbert, I'm that is just too much. I mean, and they're telling us next week here, they're talking about heat indices, being up in the 110, 115,
Oh,
you know.
man. Oh,
That
man.
sucks.
That's
I
that's really bad because you guys have humidity. So, oh,
Yeah, well, that's what they
wow.
were talking about. That the whatever the temperature is, the heat index like that. And my background, my you know, genealogy, I'm from like the northern part of Europe. My ancestors are. Although I do have 11% Italian blood and I got some Spaniard blood, got a little, but a little Jewish blood even. Can you imagine that?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm part of the wherever us white folks came from, because I don't think we were here first. I'm just simply saying, don't
You
know.
know, I don't think there is any first. You know, it was a process of multiple things being created through genetics at the same time. So I think there were many firsts. You know,
With
there,
genetics, no doubt. No
yeah.
doubt.
So
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
but when it comes to the spirit of what you are, yeah, that's ancient. Ancient. Old, old, old. We can't fathom how old potentially we actually are.
I love that line by Brewer and Shipley, Richie Tai, and it says, spirits dancing all around my head. I'm so glad that I'm not dead. Richie
Yeah.
Tai, and by the
Yeah.
way, that is one, if you want to get into some serious meditation and by a song, that is it.
Hmm.
It's a great song to get out into the open and dance, you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
I think I think it is the dance of the eagle, I believe, that really will allow you to, and the spirits dig it too, ancestral spirits, your spirit guide or guides, you know. I've gotten into a practice where I'm walking now in the early morning, and I said, the first thing that if I had one wish to grant today would be that you, Creator, have joy and favor this day, and that you smile and that you have laughter on your heart.
Yeah.
I think if more people was, there, whatever it is out there, that can't be a bad thing. I just don't
Yeah.
see how that's a negative thing, It's like, hey, creator, yeah, hey, favor be to you, man, or lady,
Yeah. We
whatever
need
may be the
favor.
case.
I think favor is very important.
Well, they're preparing for World War III. I mean, it is literally, we are watching it unfold before us. It's okay. Little favor,
It's,
folks.
I kept hearing the message. 'Cause I was listening to what you were saying yesterday, and you had so many things you were talking about. But about, are we trapped in a void, all this, unique stuff. I was like, that's a really strong potential. And what that brought into my mind was, remember I told you about that child prophet, that one
Mm-hmm.
day that kid
Mm-hmm.
stood up and she talked about we were going to go through three O-holes.
Hmm.
And this is a child, and I O-holes. I didn't even know what an O-hole would be. I was like, maybe a portal. I didn't know. So she said we were going to go through three O-holes, and we thought we wouldn't make it, but we would. So wow, wow,
That's like
hope.
really,
There is hope, and I would have never in a million years come to that conclusion. But yeah, there it was.
hello,
There it
Sarah
was.
Smith. Good to see you. Haven't seen. Yeah, and it's this whole idea, Trina, that and the science proves it. So, there it's not, speculation, it's not a hypothesis. What we can't figure out is how we got here, how long we've been here, and what does the implications really mean? Because I went further, couldn't get it on the show yesterday, but this phenomenon that we're seeing, the lights disappearing. I mean, these are galaxies on the
Yeah.
peripheral edge. I mean,
I heard
it's
once that the
the hell is that?
astronauts, when they went out into space, they
Mm-hmm.
literally said they could see nothing. And I thought, what? How could, we see stars here. How could you see nothing? They said they could see
You don't
nothing
see
but
stars on the
no.
ISS.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So,
Mm-mm.
there's something really big with this. But I also was thinking too, when you were saying that, I was like, okay, so it, the void that contains everything, I literally saw it as like the cytoplasm of a cell.
Mm.
So it was like the shell, and that's how we have a universal construct. When you were talking about, are there beings over, the universe? Is there beings over these things? And man, my spirit was like, yes, there
I think there
are.
has
And
to be.
yeah, and then you know what I heard after that? And the ultimate goal is to win the soul control over Earth. And that's why we're here, was to protect her soul. Because if they capture her soul, they capture ours too.
Yeah, you know
Interesting.
what that, and then I extend that into my head going beyond this Earth. What if this is a selective feeding program for planets like Earth? You get us isolated where, as I said yesterday, I don't think the cavalry's coming. I don't think they're going to send a rescue party for us.
When you talk about the isolation, the other thought that was coming into my mind was from the Nag Hammadi scriptures.
Hmm.
And remember how the fall of Sophia, they captured her shadow and they stole her light, her creative force, and the demiurge and all of these things were birthed out of that partial creation because it didn't have the other half it needed with the father, with the inspiration. So it didn't have the fullness. And so she hid it. The story is that she hid that creation from source, the father. So because she was embarrassed of what she created without permission and she tried to hide it. That would make sense of a quarantine. That would make sense that we would be hidden away and tucked into, a far off place of containment. But that's what she said. The Sophia's redemption is when we realize that Christ is within us and our souls came in to help the redemption, which might be part of the soul of our actual planet we're inhabiting. So it's very interesting. I was thinking deeply about what you were saying, and
So do other planets have a Jesus? I mean, when we carry this construct, it's like I just see that would be my worst nightmare, that it turns out that you get other planets within the Milky Way, which, by the way, I mean, if they're Earth-like, we know that they're in the billions. So there's a
yeah,
lot of potential life here.
yeah,
And I cannot accept that other planets, other species would be in this black magic, this dark spell that Earth seems to be under, because, and this is just my opinion, but there's enough of the ancient documents that this this is a creature of the void. And I have a feeling, just hear me out on this, that what I believe, that there is possibility that when we see beyond the void, that this consciousness, that is where the true light is. Here, we're dealing with a false light. And in
yes.
fact, and in fact,
Oh, Wayne, I'm
the
so
Bible,
on track with that. Oh, I love that train of thought because that's what I came to the conclusion
yeah,
that for real.
this is what these beings are. And if you want to call them gods or whatever,
Mhm.
but they're birthed from this void. Now, hear me out. I believe that the Milky Way was in fact captured. because I believe that there is a special light amongst the light beings, which are galaxies, by the way. Yeah, I think I think that this war that we know that took place, I just don't think we understand how big it really was.
Yes. I am on track with that
So
too.
anyway,
I'm like,
welcome to
it's
my
so
head, you
big,
know.
it's so big. It makes my brain hurt. It's so big. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it, you know. It's like the first time I took a first hit of Orange Sunshine, and it was like, whoa. I mean, it was like reality just expanded whoa.
Yeah. A quantum leap. Yes.
Boy, no. Oh, well, I'm flashing
Um,
back on that now. By the way, folks, the reason why Jenny is not here, and just send out the let's just send out the good energy. Her mom has taken a turn,
Yeah.
and I don't know what that means. She said that she'll get back with us later. So, Jenny, we love you. We love Theo. We love the kids, William and Rose.
Love your
And
mama.
for your mom, what we're speaking is favor over you
That's right.
and abundance of favor. And within that favor, it's the type of energy that if you have a particular need, you can literally draw it out of this energy, and your needs can be varied, and that energy will still supply it. So
Absolutely.
we just surround you by love and just put you in that bubble. Talking about the
Every
bubble of
code.
love.
Yeah, every code, every frequency, every ray of light that you need to put you back where you need to be will be available now in your field. Grab it, drag it, click it, install it. Done.
Bingo. Yeah.
Done.
So, Mom,
Mm.
we expect you to,
It's crap.
speak into the spirit of your body, and we just speak
Yeah.
favor to that spirit. And, I do that, technically, if you wash yourself, you're really laying hands on yourself. So you ought to speak healing as you're cleaning the dead cells off. And yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, so Jenny, we love you, darling. Miss you.
Yes, we do.
And we trust to see you next week as well.
Mhm.
So there,
Yeah.
I like to get back to this thing about because it's so deep. I mean, I couldn't sleep last night, and it was like has it's like something's activated, and it's odd because you mentioned it as I was talking. There has to be a correlation, Trina, between the physical material realm and what we perceive to be our spiritual realm, the ethereal realm. And if we're connected, which it appears that we are,
Yes.
then if this planet, we're connected to our planet, which it appears that we are, wow, then,
Wow. Right?
yeah, exactly. I'm going, okay, so, I need to get my Sherlock hat on because, I need to
And
get the,
I love the question too. You were like, why is there such a battle over Earth?
yes,
Good
why?
question.
Why?
Question. Because as we are multidimensional, omnipotent, omnipresent, we don't die. We incarnate over and over. We are fractals of creation, just little pieces or parts of it, but we are parts of God. So we literally have the whole contained within the fractal. So we have access to things they don't because we can get beyond the void. Only in spirit we can get through the void while you're in a physical body. This is how you bring heaven to earth. You remember who you are, have the ability to connect from the higher realms that they don't have access to through their physical manifestation construct. This is the key. And this is why we are here to be here for the ascension of the soul of Gaia, her soul. We're cooperating with that.
Now,
This is why we're here.
it's
Yeah.
interesting in
You know how the spirit can penetrate even the darkest of dark? That's what I saw, Wayne. We were shot forth like arrows.
So in 2018, I think, yeah, it was 2018. I had the night visitor, and I wrote out the whole thing that happened. But
Mhm.
in that, and Rennie, you would remember this because you actually, anyway, um, whatever it was, whether it was a lucid dream or whether it was an actual uh, manifestation of the spirit, but remember when I told you that I had left the earth, and as I was leaving the earth, I turned around and looked, and I saw numerous lights going in many different directions, except for where I was at. And where I was at, it was just darkness. And remember, I told, and many of y'all just go back in the archives. You'll watch the video. But in that journey, there were other lights like myself, and we were all being propelled. The earth fell back so quickly, we couldn't see anything, and there were others. I knew there were other souls or spirits like myself. And then I told you that we arrived at
Mhm.
these gates.
Membrane.
Well,
Membrane. Yeah.
that was when I went there. But remember, I landed on a platform and we lost so many others. They didn't arrive at the platform, but I remember when I got to the platform, there were so few. But what really was striking to me was how big there were gates, and there were these
Yes.
beings, as if y'all remember, I told you they seemed like they went for miles up. And they gave me, I remember, specifically, they said, once you cross these gates, you will not be able to return. And if you remember, go back, and
I
it
remember
happened.
that. I
And
do
as
remember
I
that.
went through the gate, immediately when I stepped through that threshold, boom, it wasn't there anymore.
Yep.
And I was left, and the next thing I knew, I came up to this membrane.
Yep.
And I told the audience, if y'all remember, hello, Ginger, that I was trying to press through because I could see, or I sensed other living entities on the other side. And then that's when I was suddenly pulled back
Yeah.
and woke up on the couch, is where I
And
was.
that's because you hadn't yet died. So if you were
Yeah,
dead, if you were dead, you would have popped right through the membrane. You would have been able to walk right through it. But because you were still anchored to a physical body in this realm, that's your
that
safety.
cord wasn't
Safety.
cut. Yeah.
Yeah, safety
Yeah.
switch. So they're like, no, you can't go past this one
So I
because you don't
wonder
come
if
back.
this is a potential interpretation of, wow. I mean,
Yes.
what if the visitor was trying to tell me, hey, you're stuck in a void,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe maybe I was on the peripheral edge of this void. Maybe, pushing through that, because there weren't very many of us left on. I guess still, I'm doing this flashback in my head at the same time. I'm on the platform again.
Yep.
And I remember there were just so few, and I was the only one that crossed the gate.
Yeah, because most of them are too scared or they get distracted by grandma or loved ones or,
Or something.
angels or something. They get distracted. They pull them right back in. It's very hard to stay focused when you're getting love bombed and all these things are happening and they're going through that. See, you were out of body,
Hmm.
so you weren't going through the
I
same
just
process
remember how
with them.
quickly this dimension went away. I mean, it was
You're
less
like
than a
right
blink of an
now.
eye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
it was gone.
Bye.
I couldn't have found it if wouldn't have had nowhere to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, don't know.
But
But
you can always think you know Earth. You know Earth now. You know the soil that your feet touched when you were a child. You know those things. It's familiar to you. It holds a specific vibration, which is its calling card. So
well, see, I
by
think that was
thought,
a result when we were kids. Those of us, we didn't have
yeah,
computers, but we didn't wear shoes in the summertime either. I mean,
that's true.
and I think Earth. Mother Gaia knows that we are, and I know for myself, I mean, we were poor, but we had to work. We worked in the garden,
Yes.
but
Yes.
Earth was right there. I mean, we knew the Earth.
Yes. And you
And
will
I
always
think that's
hold
why she
that.
knows us.
Yeah, and you will always hold that. I remember
Mm,
when you were talking about when spirits go up there, do they know if you've been to Earth? I'm like, oh yes, they
I
said
think
they
they
do.
do.
They said we wear certain colors and stuff that only come from Earth. And they're like, oh, you went to Earth. Oh, you
When
brave.
I get that, when I hear you say that, I get this image of Jimmy Buffett. I
Yeah.
swear. uh, and the other one, I lived in Atlanta at the time, and I saw Sade. And Sade, she will only come out barefooted. She will only perform in her bare feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Wow.
she's she's claiming her holy
Oh man, and
ground.
I tell you
That's
what,
powerful.
I mean,
Powerful.
that woman, even when I hear I got it going in my head, just that'll take you places that, it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Mm.
I mean, it's like, Barry White, could you imagine
Oh,
Barry White,
oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
man. Wow.
I tell
Yeah.
you, I mean, seriously, if you're single and dating, I mean, or well, even if you have a significant, Barry White gets a mood going. That's all I can say. Gotta
I
have
like
your
Barry White.
love.
Yeah.
Gotta have myself
Very
some
White.
Barry White. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Off the Hook says she is a powerful singer. She really is, and seeing her back in the day was really cool. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, Wayne, we are on one heck
This
of a
has been a
journey.
journey we've been on. I mean,
Yeah.
far and where we're at right now, I swear, Trina, it's like we've been guided. We
Yeah.
all remember when I remember distinctly, when Brian left us, Marsha Price and I were doing a show. And Marsha, love you, miss you.
Me too.
And it was during, I guess, when you found out, right? If I'm correct on this,
Yep. I was the first
Brenda
to know.
called you, right?
She had to answer the phone because I had called it over 70
Okay. Well,
times.
there we go. All right.
I
Yeah.
knew, I felt it, I knew. And the phone and the paramedics gave the phone to Brenda and she answered. They're like,
Yeah.
she won't stop calling. So they gave her the phone.
Yeah.
I knew,
It's
I felt it.
amazing how, from that loss, and it was,
Oh,
I mean, Friday nights, watching Brian, um, it's, it was a shame, but anyway, my point to this is I, I would say this, I would wager a bet that a lot of what we see here today is because of Brian.
Brian and I used to discuss these concepts about how big this
Yeah.
place could be.
Hmm.
And Wayne, that was the most profound because I always told him too. I said, I gotta light me above me. And I says, I think there's a light twin. We got a light twin. We got another you. You know what I mean? And I says, I know we're here, but I think we're more there than here. And then those were the two things that were so on my mind was how big is this place? I knew it was big. Oh, and I told him how big I saw it, with as much as I could describe with language. And when he passed, when he came to me that one time and he was in this beautiful ball of light and laughing and his voice was echoing in a million different directions and he said, everything that you said was true. He said, but it's bigger. I was like, oh crap. That was literally, I was like, oh wow, it's way bigger than I was like, oh, that's really, really big. And he said, and your light here is so beautiful. So he
So
confirmed
when I
that
was at the
too.
Rainbow Bridge, remember that last August, and
Hmm.
seeing Brian, and he was wearing that hat,
Yeah,
that same
always.
freaking hat. Uh,
Oh,
but the other thing that was struck me
Hmm.
was Carla.
Hmm.
And if many of you, if you don't know the story, hello, Lilith, how are you? Um, if y'all remember Carla, I believe she was from Norway.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she she sent me her last communication to the world.
Yep.
And I got to be very careful because I get emotional about it because,
It's in, yeah.
she in her country you can leave on your own terms, euthanasia. And I'm not going to get into the circumstances behind that, but Carla was one who watched this this group, this channel. And what she learned from here is what she carried with her at the moment of her departure. And she's still a part of this group. I
Yeah.
sense her all the time.
Yep.
I really didn't know her,
Right.
but yeah,
But you know
yeah.
her frequency.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. You
She
know
had
her
such
frequency.
love. Um,
Hmm.
and I remember reading her email. There was some very other stuff in there that I didn't share with everybody, but yeah, I mean, this group has had more of an impact on people than I think many of us can fathom or be aware of.
Yeah. And I know you've received them too, the people that were thinking about ending their
Hmm.
lifetime. And they said that things that you said gave them hope to keep going.
Yeah,
Just to have one is so beautiful. And to take her fear away from death, and that was what you did. You brought her out of the fear of death. And that's why it makes me emotional.
yeah. I'm
Powerful.
not
Powerful.
saying anything because I'm right on you know,
Hmm.
the precipices, one would say. So,
Hmm.
and I'll just use, laughter as that because and that's the other misconception. I believe that there is this, and it isn't tied to a god or a ideology or theology or even philosophy. I think that's going to be the biggest surprise for so many of us is that which we have, it's that scene of Patrick Swayze in Ghost, when he was looking at
Hmm.
Demi Moore and he says, you carry it with you. It's
Yes.
here.
You take it
Yeah.
with you.
You take it
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I remember the idiom, and Doctor, I saw that you wrote this, we think this is all true because, we come in with nothing, but we leave with nothing. I think we ought to rethink that because I am leaving when that time comes. It's not now. There are other adventures await. But I'm going to carry the love I've caught from this group. I'm going to carry the love that my wife has taught me what love is, what the animals in my life, how they have. Wow. I mean, no one can take that away.
No. No.
And
That's the only thing that's eternal.
yeah,
That's it.
if there is to be weighed, my heart is lighter than the feather. My heart is that of the weight of my breath. Some of
Sorry.
you will know what I'm talking about, but because, as the Egyptians believe, you know, that's what Osiris does, weighs the heart.
Yeah. That's Isis. Isis
Isis,
weighs the
excuse me,
heart.
thank you.
Yes. Isis.
So if
Isis.
you have
Yeah.
love in your heart, true
Yeah.
love like I look at this group, you
Yeah.
know, Bonnie, Deborah, this,
And
all of you.
I think it's so when you look at the essence of it, this I saw a question in there. Do they think there could be, Jesus could be a dark god? In this construct, everything
I
is
think he
dual.
is
So
a,
there
yeah.
is both. Yeah, but that's
Well, who's
false
his
light.
father?
That's false light still though. When you get to the truth of it, when I think about the Jesus, it's more of a okay, the difference between religion. So Jesus to me is I teach you to go within and religion teaches you to go out. That's how I see the
Yeah.
difference between the two frequencies and energies. So that was the one that was telling you, remember who you are, remember who you are. So for me, in the true light, this is where we get the chance to remember who we are. So that light streams in, but when it comes through this construct, it fractals into dual. So
Yeah.
dark
You see,
God
this is where
potential.
knowledge comes, and so
Yeah.
the battle in my mind is I know those words. I studied them for 50 years as a ordained minister. I know those words. But
Yes.
the problem I have now, and I would love to have a conversation with such an individual if it
Hmm.
exists, because I got a dilemma. First of all, how can you bring from perfection imperfection, and then how can you reverse osmosis, so to speak, imperfection back into perfection? All right. I need to know where the Father come from. And as a Christian
Yeah.
for 50 years, I never asked myself the question because they teach that, well, the Father is the Jewish Jehovah, Yahweh.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Yep.
and you're so
Yep.
indoctrinated because you think because you're a Christian, then you own this other culture's religion. You defame their religion by incorporating it into your own and therefore validating the existence of your belief system. That's what it
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
And so and this as a philosopher today, I ask the question, so how can I reconcile what I know about Yahweh
Hmm.
to what the supposed Jesus said? I that
They're
there's a
opposites.
problem there.
They're total opposites.
Yeah.
100% opposite
Now,
in
what
total opposition.
I think it was not an actual person. I believe it was much like in 1969 at the gathering at Woodstock. It was a common shared belief in that moment. And whether it was one individual or a group, I'm not sure. Or maybe it could have been holy men from the East. Who knows? I kind of relate it as if I was there, I would probably say it was like a bunch of hippies coming together in a commune
Hmm.
or, out in the country, big pop festival. But
Hmm.
I don't believe it was an actual individual because I don't see how a God of light would still justify murder.
Well, Jesus as a character never did that.
Yeah. So,
Never. No. But
couldn't see it at all.
Yahweh did a lot. And the angels did the most damage. Think about it. They were the ones that kind of did the most was the angels.
Well,
Because
and then the question was, where the hell was God?
that's what I'm saying. Fallen construct, false
If
light.
God knows
Yeah.
everything, then
And Wayne,
that,
when you asked the
that's a
question,
six.
how do you, when you said, how do you bring perfection into imperfection? Very easily. All you have to do is wipe all consciousness of who they are.
Yeah, well, and that's literally a white. But
Yep.
my philosophy it changes because is that's what it's supposed to do. Your philosophy should never be static.
Yeah, you want to
And
grow.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the way I kind of see it now is that okay, I get it. I've seen that picture, but I believe that they haven't told us the truth. I don't believe in there's this how should we say the bifurcation, the construct that where it's always in conflict. I just don't think it's that. I don't think it's actual beings. I think we're going to be so shocked that I don't think we're going to people like us that the knowledge we can't stay here. I think we by what we possess won't allow it.
I think so.
If you're free of the construct of the fear of it, well, it's what would hell be to you? Well, to me, it would seem to be an open party because a lot of people are going to be there, apparently.
Well, you're going to go exactly where your consciousness takes you. So, what you envision heaven to be, you will go there. I love too how you were putting in the thing. What is there a Muslim God and a this God? And I'm like, oh yeah, saw that too. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There's the Buddha one. There's all the
Well,
different
that's what I
people
saw when I had left Earth. I
for
looked back at
real.
there, and they were going to different
Yes.
points, you know.
I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I saw that. And I was
Yeah.
like, I do think that there is a situation like that going on up there. I really do. I
Because
really
in
do.
every culture that I know, and you can learn the language, in every culture, there is the expression "go to hell."
Yeah, pretty much. They're gonna, or I'm gonna throw you in the
It's going
trash.
to be the same, the vernacular in the same. We are so good at that, you know.
Yes, yes,
And you
yes.
don't hear it because if someone was to say, "Hey, Trina, go to heaven," you're going to stop and go, "What?"
Wow, you don't hear that very often, right?
Exactly. You're going to go,
Yeah, like what'd
and
you just say? Yeah,
and
huh?
that's where the whole thing with favor. Um, so let me pull this up because y'all have done such a great job. By the way, I want to show you
Mm.
that this is the god of favor. Isn't that odd?
It
Favor.
is
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. It's a
Isn't it?
serpent.
Yeah.
Well, that's a serpent face. That's a serpent. That is a
Yeah.
serpent.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that is a serpent. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So
Interesting.
we got that going for us. So I'm going to stop there for a second and come back.
That's very interesting. Well,
Is it?
too, the tricking you about, maybe worshiping false gods. When you think about from the beginning of apparently the story, we're dealing with Yaldabaoth, which was called the feathered serpent.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems to go back to that every time.
Someone wrote to me recently and they said, how can you have this? How can you say you have no fear of this demon goddess, Lilith? And I wrote back, I said, have you ever met her?
Right.
I mean, and I know people will say, well, that's only in your head. That's fine. Doesn't matter. My
So is all the
reality is not your
consciousness that you have.
responsibility, you know?
Well, yeah, what you think, that's all in your head too. In your consciousness, that's all in your head too. So,
Isn't that the
join
first
the party.
principle of hermetics?
Join the party.
The universe is mental. But anyway,
Yes, Wayne, I do believe that. And I do believe that that is the whole thing. It's consciousness. It really is.
if
You're
anything,
gonna,
I have great empathy and compassion for Lilith. I mean,
I do too.
what she went through, that's
Yep.
nonsense.
Yep.
And yeah. So this is Lucky's this is his rework. I thought this one was really cool.
Yes.
Um and he told, well, it's I read in the email, he said he has done every day, not the all of this, but sometimes, excuse, in parts. Favor is with me.
Yep.
Um Now you have to declare it. And that's one of the things is you can't just one of the unique things that we have as gods in these bodies is that we can do something the spirits can't. We can give voice.
Yes.
And our
Yes.
voice, our command is mighty powerful. So if you sit there saying, and Lucky, man, I love how you did this. This says, favor is with me in everything I undertake. It's wherever I go. It allows everything I set my hand to prosper in the most positive, happy, healthy, beneficial way for me. These are powerful energies. Let's see. Favor. Let's see. Is
Allows every four. Yeah.
yeah. Um, Allows me to prosper in the most healthy and loving way. Favor is with me in the city. Favor is with me in the country. Favor is with me in the dark. Favor is with me in the light. Favor floats with me as I kayak. I mean, I just love the way.
I love it
Uh,
too.
and you know what this tells me, Lucky, I'd like to hear you, like to know, has it impacted your life? And if love to have you on and let us know um, what you've experienced. So love it,
Mhm.
brother. And all of these are here. I think he wrote this one. I am totally calm. I'm totally relaxed. Everything always works out perfectly for me. Bet your ass. That's exactly what you say all the time, even when it looks like the boat is sinking. All my needs are met before I'm aware. I have a need. All my wants have a clear, defined path to achieve them. I'm in complete alignment with my highest self. I am in complete alignment with my higher purpose. I am in complete alignment with my higher potential. Powerful. I have a perfect connection with Source. I am a conduit of pure Source energy. I am Source energy incarnate.
Yes.
I have
Oh,
an that's powerful, isn't it? I
it,
mean, this is some powerful stuff, folks. If you want magic,
and
if you
he's
want some
literally,
magic that works, this is
yes,
it.
and words are important, and every bit of these words. I mean, like you said, certain days you might need certain things, so you should go in and just pull the things that you need. But for complete, I mean, to like pray for somebody and to invoke favor in their life and say these words, that is a library of blessing and favor and positive code coming into the field. Man, it's powerful. It is beautiful, well written and well spoken. Lucky I've heard you read this on your channel, and every time I hear it, it just fills my heart with joy. So thank you.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is a soul that has really taken and weighed the words. They're powerful. They're powerful.
Yes.
Um, I could think people like Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Norman Vincent Peale, others would find this exactly. In fact, I can hear Brian Tracy, I saw him a number of times. This is what he would say: if you want to change your life today, then I have shown you a way. Didn't say it was the way. I have shown you a way.
Anyway, yep.
And this is that way. Um, y'all
Yep.
remember when I did the video on the book It Works?
Yeah.
Do you know I'm down to only two things left on my list, and these are big things.
Wayne, I've done that, what you did, and literally, and I've been doing similar, but I haven't worked on a big manifestation program in a while because I haven't. I'm satisfied with what I have and what I hold, so I'm not working on manifesting anything large at the moment. But the last time I did that, the list and the vision board and the whole thing. Man, I brought every single one of them in. It was crazy. So this stuff really does work. Really
Well,
does.
and the one that, like I said, on the really big thing, there are some projects that this is now the opportunity. And so, anyway, but just want to let everyone know. And this, by the way, this in alignment with the same principle of the of it works. Um, I like how you wrote this, Lucky. It says, I have an ideal connection with the grounding energy of Mother Earth. I am a conduit of the grounding energy of Mother Earth. I am the energy of Mother Earth incarnate. Wow, your
Beautiful.
soul, and within me, I'm doing the Ren and Stimpy, the happy feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I live a life of prosperity. I live a life of abundance, and prosperity is not money. It has a part to it, but prosperity in its purest sense of the word is perfect health.
Yes. Hmm.
Perfect health. And as our ancestor says, may you live long and prosper. You can only prosper if you're living in prosperity and good health. I was lived in Knoxville, Tennessee, Trina, and there was a couple, very, very wealthy couple. Both contracted cancer within 6 months of each other.
Wow.
And the person who I was with, anyway, I was right there. And before this gentleman was crossing over, he was really into racing, and I was at that time working with Richard Petty and others in NASCAR. And anyway, with and he had this tear. He said, "You know, Wayne," he says, "I'm dying." He says, I know I'm dying." So I know I don't have long. He says, "I'll tell you, brother," he said, "I would give all of my money if I would have had just a little more time." He says, "With that time, I could have maybe changed what I had been doing." An hour later, he passed over. So anyway, getting back, that
Wow.
prosperity is health.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'll say this as well. Wealth, money, is attracted to good health. Because if you don't have that prosperity of good health in you, and if by chance you beat the odds and it comes, statistics have shown about 85% of those people die. So why? They weren't living in prosperity.
Hmm.
So anyway, thank you, Lucky, on this. If you want it, I'm sure it doesn't matter. We can share this. Isn't this some great stuff?
It's one of my favorites. Oh God, who wrote the first one for us? That one was amazing too.
Well, I did the first one, and
Yeah. And then
and
someone did a update. That one
they
was beautiful
did,
too. And
they
then
did, and
Lucky's.
I believe it
Lucky's
was
is a
Loretta.
Loretta. I think that is correct.
I
Yes. And that
believe
was
it is, and I
beautiful
have
too.
hers.
Yep.
Where here we go. So, the
And this all was inspired by, let's create your own. Here's a template, a rough template, but do what you need. Put in there what works for you, for your, the individual frequency that
I
you are projecting.
this one is, I believe, Loretta's.
That's
It's
beautiful. I love that one too. I
yeah,
love
this
it.
is
Like I
yeah.
said, you guys have written some powerful, beautiful words to invoke beautiful things into our world and your personal reality.
Well, may I
So
say something in here?
wonderful.
Because Loretta, it's people like you, others, Lucky, others that have said this. We're
Yep.
reaping the harvest because, as Loretta wrote, all these favors guide me, my family, the soul tribe.
Yes.
So, without you, if you're a part of this group or consider yourself part of this group, this is why you're under the covering.
Yes.
I'm just telling you. That's why this group
Yeah.
is, we have favor.
Yes.
To assist us stronger and more abundantly now, favor is with us wherever we go. Favor heals our bodies as we speak favor into our bodies.
Yes.
Someone needs to hear this today. I'm just getting an affirmation in my spirit.
And I love
This
it.
is
Favor is on our food, our water, our pantry, our life force. Oh, bang. I love that one.
favor allows us to heal others as we speak favor into their bodies. So,
Yeah.
Jenny, get mom and just lay hands on her and just speak favor into her body, over her body, through her body. Um, I just love this. Sets me apart, my family, the soul tribe, our descendants, our ancestors, our
Yeah.
animals, our grounds, our homes, as favored with abundance and joy.
Love it.
I look at this and I'll tell you where I got this from. It's actually the thing about this Yaldabaoth, this Yahweh. It can speak curses, of which you can pick up yourself and speak those curses. They're endued with power. But the thing about it is that this thing also can speak in what we would call the blessing.
Yes.
And this is a part of that blessing. There's no curse to this because
Yeah.
favor will annihilate the curse.
Yes.
This is far. I could use the F
That's a
bomb right now,
whole
but
like
this
you
is
bring
far
a
fucking out stuff. I
it
mean,
is it's literally that powerful because you're igniting a fire, a flame. This is fire. This is this is
this
like a
is if that is
translation.
so true. You know, and you said
Yeah.
that. Wow, Trina, right before you said that, I was back in Taos, New Mexico, at this commune, sitting around the campfire, and we used to talk philosophy as you know, and whatever. I wish we knew this.
Right.
Oh man,
It's been
that's
carefully
where
hidden.
my generation missed it.
Well, that's what I said. It was carefully hidden and it was
Yes.
only reserved for royalty. And when we started digging into what's going on with the people, doing stuff, that's when you figured this out. You found the word. And when you did, that's why I was jumping up and down. I says, yes, bring these words back into our construct. We need
Mm,
this. We
mm,
need
mm,
favor.
mm.
We need it. Not only, certain people, all people. So yeah, it was a huge thing that happened. I even dreamt about it after that. It was profound what I saw happening to the Matrix with favor. It literally was fire word. It literally lit up in gold. It was the most beautiful thing I ever had seen. And it literally traveled through the entire construct. I was like, oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Fire. Source fire, gold.
Well, folks, if you don't have these documents, you really should have them. I'm not going to spend the rest of the time, but Loretta, this is just beautiful. And the thing about today, if
Mhm.
President Trump was to speak and hear him say the word favor, let's just all do that. If we could influence a world leader, he would be the one you'd want to. Let's just do the little experiment. We've done things here. We've made it rain in areas. We've caused a lot of things to happen. But if we could all just focus that he's a leader, he's a world leader, that
Yeah.
in a whether he does, one of the news conferences or something, let's all think that he will use the word favor. It doesn't matter how he puts it. We just want to hear the word favor. Will you join me in that?
Oh, yeah. We need favor. Favor
Because
is
if
good
we can
for
show the
everyone.
world that we're doing this ahead of time,
Yeah.
and so in the next week, month, who knows? But when it happens, we're going to have this as our evidence. So, anyway, it
Remember,
says it
Wayne, I
makes our
told
enemies
you?
to be at peace with us.
Remember too, I told you, I said when I had that dream about favor. Remember, I told
Yeah.
you, I said somehow this is going to come out onto the multi-stage platform. A country western song called Favor was invented around the same time as when you did that.
Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to go
And
and
that
find
is a
that.
popular country song still playing right now, and it's relatively new, and it's called Favor.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's big, huge.
I like this one, Loretta. You really did well on this. No ill thought, word, or deed holds sway, foothold, nor prospers against us, our family, offspring, descendants, or ancestors. I do not consent either knowingly or unknowingly to any force, powers, entities, presumed authority that try to harm me or mine or the soul tribe or are set against us in any way. Let my silence be not an acquiescence to any known or unknown contract set against us or our best interests, nor that our entire family, past, present, or future, as I do not consent to it. Let my yeas be yeas and let my nays be nays. We got one of the wisest groups of community here. I mean, Retta, I haven't read this
Absolutely.
in a while, and quite frankly, because I speak it, but it favor each day, and within itself, it has its own containment. But I need to get back and be diligent. Maybe we could just challenge all of us to do this just for the next 4 or 5 days, and tell me if things change in your life. let us know.
Absolutely. Well, and look for things to change in the world. It's such doom and gloom right now. And
Oh,
and this is how they don't things don't happen. Like this is how we foil the energies. We literally foil their energies of destruction by putting in things like favor. I mean, this literally is the most powerful, potent medicine you could ever give to this wound we're trying to heal.
so I was given this through a channeling session. And so this is the cleansing ritual. It actually it's a favor cleansing invocation. Um, I've had people that have done this, and one person told me she said that this is miraculous. She said it changed overnight for her. But if you want this one as
You know,
well,
you know what I just heard, Wayne?
what's that?
When you read this out loud, it literally goes into your aura and it bounces back into your water and it literally can restructure all the water in your body. I literally just saw that. This is how powerful this is.
This is, yeah.
That's
Wow,
that's
Trina,
crazy.
6 years ago. Who would have thought, my dear?
I
Who would
know,
have thought?
6 years
Who,
ago.
I mean, this is just.
It's been one heck of a journey.
Shyfield says that it's interesting. Yeah, I've seen this lately because we remember on here, I was bitching one time when it's about, some months ago. No one's saying love. So it's going to be fun. Sarah, thank you. Um, Always opening the presentation with favor. Yeah. Because, see, this is something I know, the seed time and harvest time. If you have delayed harvests and you cross over, you have the right, and it's yours. You will still have the effect of those harvests for you. Some people might want to call it karma. I don't see it as that way. I believe that you can plant seeds that
Mhm,
will aid you on
mhm,
the other side. And for our Wayne Steiger, mine is favor.
mhm,
I mean, if I'm going to be judged, have at it. You know,
mhm,
well, what'd he do? Well, damn thing is, the guy keeps speaking favor, you know, on
mhm.
everything, everybody.
Yeah. You know what's interesting
Uh,
too, Wayne? I keep seeing this over and over again, and maybe it's important. You know, when we talk about, how we get imperfect and we forget and we lose all this stuff, how do you get into this construct? You enter into a cell.
no, actually, yeah, it does start from there, doesn't it? As I see that
Yeah,
first one, yeah.
they keep it
Uh,
tell this comes from a cell. Remember I told you they keep showing me if you want to understand the universe, you just need to understand how the body works because it's an image, as above, so below, micro, macro. This is a body. Our universe is a body. And it's so mind blowing. How do you get into the physical stream of consciousness where you're forget who you are and think you're separate from source and don't remember any of it and don't know that this is false light and you forget everything? How do you do that? You enter a containment for your mind, a cell.
one could correlate that it is the individual's Big Bang.
Yes. And then I also think about it too. What do cells do? They literally zap in and out of reality and they don't know where they go or how they come back. They've witnessed this multiple times. Our cells are constantly dying off and reproducing. But what if they're bilocating? What if they're in superposition going to your different timelines of existence through your
Well, there's a
fractals?
hypothesis is that when two are engaged in coitus, that the rhythm that's being achieved is actually it's deep because it's
Yes.
actually it's tying into higher frequencies, but it's what begins to in that process is where we as creators have this ability to pull in from this infinite, and it's amazing. Now, whether it's an incarnate, whether it's a reincarnate, or if it's an original, it is that big bang for that consciousness.
Absolutely. And when the sperm enters the cell, there is a big bang and a
There
flash of
exactly,
light.
it's that
It
moment.
is absolutely correct. And think about, what is this? This is the introduction to the separation through the split of duality. You come into the structure in duality,
Yeah.
and that's why it requires two to conceive, because you need the penetration of the father and the womb of the mother. And the womb chooses what she lets into it. I didn't know that. That's new information from
And it's
science.
also
Yeah.
it's actually the same energy that you would say would be in like the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes.
You've got the positive and the negative continually doing the charging. And
Yes. Yes. And this is our whole entire system. We see everywhere in every major political governmental structures, our court buildings, everything's dome and phallus, dome and phallus. They're showing you everything here is about penetration.
it is.
Yeah.
This is an adult conversation.
That's why we're going to penetrate with favor.
And that's exactly, I want all of, and metaphorically, all of us to be pregnant with favor.
Yeah.
You know?
You choose what you let in.
And then
Or
I'm
help
hearing in
me
my
now.
head,
What's the
Steiger,
Lord
what's so profound words of that, and particularly because everybody has the battle of the transgender thing and what have you. But I'd
Yeah,
like to see everybody pregnant with favor. There you go.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I like that
Oh
too.
man, I got to make a t-shirt that says I'm pregnant with favor. I mean,
Yeah, that would be good, Wayne. That would be an eye turner for sure. Yeah,
oh my goodness.
yeah.
Trina, I love you, darling.
I love you
Uh,
too.
this has been so much fun. It really has. I mean,
Yeah.
and I have no doubt that as they can, as we continue to put this, as long as we will. I mean, I don't know how it ends, but I know that for the right now, it is the now. And
Yeah.
this is a good place.
I was thinking a lot about that too when you were talking about why is Earth so important. What if your now present you is literally the only now? And that means that we were brought into this position to create this now. So that was a kind of a backwards for me too, because it was like, whoa, okay. So if I am only the now and I'm in this position of now, whoa, you know what I mean? It was pretty wild. So yeah, that's a thought.
I still need to expound on that experience
You
that
know what I was realizing too, Wayne, with that crazy thought, because everything was going backwards and forwards at the same time. And that's when I was realized you can change the future by changing the past, and you can change the past with your mind. And that was showing me a bunch of different timelines that were created with those potentials. If you literally can go backwards and forwards at the same time and affect everything, it's very powerful. So I want to
the
look at a
thing
lot of
with
that.
the thing with the now, and for
Mhm.
those practicing witches and wizards and spellcasters and spellbinders, the interesting thing about the now, particularly in evoking, um, binding, is it's as you said, it's the now. And when this revelation came to me, I told you it's when my back was like freaking. I had the problem with the
A
disc,
disc. Yeah.
and when the pain was the most intense, and Trina, it was like a flash that the now allows you to do exactly that. You can literally change the future. You can change the present.
Yes.
That's what
Yes. And it was interesting because what I was sending you, you literally picked it up as I was putting it down. It was crazy because I was focusing on right now, Wayne is being sent every single thing he needs in his field to heal himself. And however he needs it, everything is now available. And all he has to do is grab it. And he will be magnetically drawn to this, and it will fill him and give him exactly what he needs. And that's when you were like, boom, and the now came in. And yes, and I literally saw You had two accidents this year. Both of those falls were what actually hurt your disc way back then, but now you're
Mm-hmm.
finally feeling it. And you literally softened the blows of the falls. I don't, that's what I was seeing. It was so crazy what was happening in my consciousness because you were healing your back. It changed how hard you fell in the past,
See?
which changes your future. It was a weird thing that was happening. So I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to tell that to you because it was just so, what? Whoa, wow, that's interesting. But that was what I was seeing.
Good, good, good stuff. This is, I
And
mean,
one
this
was
is the
falling
stuff you
off the
can't.
ladder. One, I kept seeing the ladder the most when you fell off the ladder.
That was no fun.
That's what I kept seeing. That was the original injury, I think. That was the first one
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
that pinched
yeah.
stuff up a little bit. Yeah, but I saw you change it. And I saw you anchor
Mhm.
your healing, and I saw you move the timelines. I was watching you do it actively. And that's why now I'm having all this click, drag, and drop, because that's what I was seeing.
Mhm.
We're grabbing it from the field and dropping it into the body. It was like click, drag, drop. It was wild.
So while this was going on, what I was remembering was the stories in the Bible. So the one that has always fascinated people was, well, how did this Jesus walk on water? I know how he did it, if he
Mhm.
actually did it. And
Mhm.
I have feeling that humans can do it.
Yes.
If you're in the now, the water isn't water.
Yes.
It, and I'm not, I'm good, but I'm not as disciplined as I need to be because you can. There was a story of this. We're going to go a little bit over here, folks. If just stay with us. If you got to go, we love you. Thank you for hitting the like button. Favor is with you, so go with favor. But real quick, and I'll get the book. It's over on my shelf on a 16th century monk, and he mastered the now. And I think this is how Buddha did it. I think this is how the Christ did it, if in
Yep.
fact it all happened, was that he was reported by hundreds where he walked out of the monastery opening, walked on the air.
Yes. Because when you understand that you
The
are one with
now,
everything, you can
it's
merge with it,
uh, what
become
I've
it.
seen, Trina, is the now, it it changes substance. And
Yes,
if you
because
take like Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things not seen.
what if you're in the 0 point?
Well, I think it is almost, it could be
That's what
zero
I was
energy, as it would say. It would
That's what
be
I would
that.
well, you're in the now. You're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're in the present. So the now would be that central point where all potential is emanating from and all changes can be made. I think you're onto something with that. This might be where we enter 0 point. When we are fully present in the now, we might be in a 0 point field.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get more into this because I do believe if humans have done this and we all can do this, but if we can get
Yes.
into the now,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, it's a place where the miraculous is now.
Yes.
We can literally alter matter in the
And
now.
Wayne, I'm not kidding. The Lord told me since I was 3 years old, you came here to do what I did, which means away, walking on water, healing the blind, this stuff. And he said, you know how to do this. All you have to do is remember. And then he told me, he says, the reason I couldn't do what I really wanted to do was there was only one of me. He said, but now there are millions of you. You're one of those. You know miracles. You've seen them. You've felt them. You've held them in your hands, vibrationally speaking and literally. So we hold the code. We have it.
Yeah,
It's here. And these things are, they remember I told you party tricks will be involved. I'm not kidding.
I agree.
We're supposed to do this stuff, Wayne, for real.
Lost in space now and observation is the same energy. Yeah. it's getting to that point. And when I read the story, and it's a quite interesting story, because it was quite with what he knew, he found something, and I sense in my spirit, I think what he found. And yeah, so I'll share this with as we go out. If there's something that you have a strong desire for, or desire for change, start practicing that. It I'm not articulating this as well as I should, but if you can get to that place, I slipped into it, and it was amazing what took place. That's all I got to say. All right.
Mhm.
Love everybody here.
Love you all.
Thank you, Miss Trina. Favor be
Thank
with
you,
you,
Wayne.
sweetie. And
Mwah.
we'll hope to see. Thank you. Thank you very much. All the
Yeah.
rest of you, Mary wins. Mary wins.
Love
Now, you
you,
see, this
man.
is why Mary has so much love. You've planted a harvest,
Mary was
Mary.
my first YouTube friend ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's covered in love. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
for sure.
So I guess there's 100 likes already. Wow.
I love you guys.
Well, let's see how we
Oh,
do that. Do it like that.
oh, big
Da-da, da-da,
hugs.
da-da.
Oh,
All right,
feel that in
everybody.
every cell in your body. Oh, love you.
Love everyone. Thank you, Jenny. Remember to tell you what we did for your
Yeah.
mom. All right. Much love to
Favor.
you.